What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Key. And I'm coming back at y'all with another reaction video. Now today we got something very, very different. I never reacted nothing like this before. I'm just being honest with y'all, but it was recommended to me. We got 3 scary, true train horror stories. So with that being said, y'all get in that comment box. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about this video. If I should bring some more of these, because I don't even know what to expect. So with that being said, man, let's do it.
Hopefully I don't dox myself by writing this, but I'm a graffiti artist, or as some might see it, a delinquent. I'm fine with either title. Point is, I like to spray paint, and I'm decent with a can in my hand. The tagging community is atrocious. People aren't friendly, and there's no respect between artists. Because of this, I've adopted a much more inconspicuous routine. I like tagging up quieter spots, where my art likely won't be seen by other artists or the general public. Old train lines are usually a good bet, since the train cars are endless and new trains get decommissioned and left to rot on them all the time. My friend Lucas likes to come with me when I tag up, even though he's not big into the whole thing himself. I welcome the company. Some people don't understand the importance of a good friend, and I think that's sad. Most of my other friends don't seem to respect my time or interests as much as he seems to. Lucas and I found ourselves smoking on some nameless set of old tracks I found earlier that day on Google Maps. I'm not a big stoner myself, but he smokes a lot of weed, so I often indulge to match his vibe.
No,
it wasn't that.
Whoa. Look, bro. I ain't gonna cap. I like how they set the mood. Like, it kind of do feel like a scary story for real. But why would you do that? Y'all out here in the dark. Y'all doing shit illegal. And you gonna smoke just because somebody else smoked? The peer pressure is insane.
Maybe a little past 10 p.m. We finished a J and talked as we walked alongside the old, rusty freight train. Oddly enough, there wasn't a single tag on the entire train. It must have been recently moved here, I thought, excited that I'd get first dibs on such a good surface. I tossed Lucas a can for him to mess around with, and I started doing my own thing. About 5 minutes later, I finished my first tag. I admired it for a bit before moving to the next car, then the next. About 15 minutes and 2 paint cans later, I had 3 decent tags up adjacent to one another, and I was pretty proud of myself for how they looked in combination with each other. Sorry in advance if this offends anyone, but I tend to discard my empty cans wherever they go dry. So I flung them back the way we had come, enjoying the satisfying clattering sound a ball bearing makes when bouncing around the inside of an empty can. I then caught up with Lucas, who had seemingly rolled and lit another joint, neglecting the paint I had given him. For context, the reason I'm not a big stoner is because I started getting unbearable anxiety highs much more frequently, maybe 90% of the time. In hindsight, smoking 2 J's with Lucas was a borderline detrimental decision. After all, we were doing something illegal, which was already pretty anxiety-inducing. I smoked the second joint anyway, confident that I'd be okay. As soon as the final sparks floated off the J, that's when we heard it. A muffled clang from somewhere behind us rang out into the night.
What the fuck, boy?
The two of us froze and stared into the darkness.
What you mean you froze? Boy, you better, what you mean you froze? I ain't gonna lie, bro. I hope y'all can feel the same tension that I'm feeling. Like, it's weird. Like, it's like you really watching a scary movie. And even though most of these things is like 2D, I feel like something to like jump scare. You feel me? So it's like I'm trying to be prepared for that while I'm listening to the story. Bruh.
Droplets of sweat forming around my neck as adrenaline began coursing through me. I couldn't tell if the sound had come from outside of the train or from inside one of the cars. It was hard to tell which option was worse. We waited for a full minute in silence, and nothing.
Y'all didn't go nowhere?
That's when I whipped out my phone and recorded this video.
Oh shit! Hold on, this is real.
No way, bro. You fucking heard that? I heard that shit. What the fuck? No, bro. Oh, fuck.
As the video shows, whoever made that noise picked up one of my empty paint cans and threw it at us, before chasing and shouting at us. You can't really see the paint can in the video, but I swear to you, that's what the first sound was. As we frantically made our
This shit
escape,
remind me of Outlast.
whoever was behind us yelled, "You better not trip, boy." A few seconds later, an actual gunshot sounded off
That's
behind
what I
us,
thought too.
almost causing Lucas to trip and fall.
I ain't gonna
It
lie,
startled
Lucas.
me
You fall, you on your own. You fall, you on your own. Oh my God. Okay, so
So
these
much that
real
my finger
stories.
slipped off the
I know it
record
said
button
true
on
stories,
Snapchat
but,
and the
like,
video cut out.
ain't
We
true.
bolted down the tracks until they intersected a main road and didn't stop running until we were a safe distance away. I don't think I've ever been more terrified in my entire life. It didn't help that I was stoned out of my mind. My hands were literally shaking. So were Lucas's.
This shit scared
We
me.
found our way back to the car and drove home in silence. What was I supposed to do? Call the police? I was literally breaking the law. That wasn't an option. The story doesn't end there, though. I actually went back to those tracks a few weeks ago.
Dumbass nigga. Oh my God. Why people be so stupid? Bro, you survived, bro. You survived. And then you went back. Oh yeah, I got shot at
Later,
over here. I'm finna go
this
right
time
back.
during the day and equipped with my trusty
Stupid.
Glock 17. To my
he had
surprise,
one
the
too.
train was still there. Despite that, there was a pretty glaring difference this time around. In the 3 spots where my tags had previously been were now ugly blotches of red paint. Someone had deliberately covered my work. Quietly, I kept investigating and eventually came to a train car with its door wide open. I took a look inside, and it was bizarre.
Why would you?
The train car was completely empty, except for a chair in the direct center and what looked like ropes and chains scattered about. Some of the ropes were wrapped around the legs of the chair, and others were just lying on the floor. The weirdest part was the smell, though. The whole car smelled like bleach. If you closed your eyes, you would have guessed you were in a cleaning supply closet. I can't overstate the smell, though. It literally smelled like the whole train car had been doused in bleach. I went to take a picture of the scene when I thought I heard a metal clang somewhere further down the train.
But hell
I could have
no.
imagined it, but I wasn't taking any chances. That was enough for me.
How long does
I
it
was
take
out
to
of there
take
as
a
quickly
picture?
as I had come. I've told so many people this story, and none of them could rationalize that psycho's actions in a way that makes sense. I doubt a homeless person would be able to get their hands on a gun, but I can't fathom why someone other than a homeless
I ain't gonna
person
lie though,
would
it's very easy to get your hands on a gun as a homeless person. Break into a car.
respond so aggressively, and why they decided to cover up my tags is another mystery. I think the most disturbing aspect of this whole thing was the chair in the middle of the train car. I really want to go back to those tracks just to take a picture of what I saw, but I haven't worked up the courage
You
to.
shouldn't.
I have no idea if whoever was there that night was really shooting to kill us or just trying to scare us. But sometimes, late at night, when it's just me and my thoughts, I can still hear that shot ringing
I'm
in
not
my
gonna
ears.
cap, though. When you think about it, bro, abandoned train yards really are a scary place. Like, bro, just think about this stuff right here, right? Anybody and anything could be lurking. It don't even gotta be an actual person, bro. It could be snakes or whatever. And if something happened to you, depending on where this is, you could get no help. Like, bro, this shit is good, bro. Oh shit, I'm subscribing to this shit. Oh my God, bro. And the way that he does the story, like, somebody could tell you, and this is
As
what I
I'm
want to say,
writing
somebody
this-
could tell you a story like this, and it'll sound just regular, like normal. You might even think they're lying. But the way that somebody conveys a story is what makes you like feel like you there with them. That's what I'll say about this. Like, it made me feel like I was there. All the noise that he added was perfect, bro. Golly.
It's early July. This story took place at the beginning of summer. I usually try to hang around my college town or travel to Europe in the summer as a way to avoid going home, but that wasn't a possibility this time around. I found myself reluctantly returning home at the beginning of the summer. I just had to make it through 1 week, and then I'd be on a plane to Germany. I didn't really feel like seeing any of my old friends, but I wasn't too keen on staying home either, so I found myself waking up early and spending my entire days hiking, watching movies, or even just driving around aimlessly. It was my last day home. I was getting bored of the stuff I had been doing and wanted to do something a little more exciting.
Well, you got one
My friends
day
and I
left.
used to train hop, one of the many unruly activities that I had since cut out of my life. I decided what the hell and drove to a secluded set of tracks I knew about. Freight trains always passed through here, so I knew there would be many options. The tracks were surrounded by trees and various flora, part of the reason I had chosen them. The last thing I needed was to be caught for doing an illegal activity after having been clean for so many years. I parked my car
Bro,
and made
you
my way.
had 1 day left. I don't even know the story yet, bro. You had 1 day left. And you about to crash out. Tripping. This, oh my God.
Over to the tracks. Let me describe the layout so it's easy to understand. This specific set of tracks ran through the trees for a while before entering a tunnel. There was a very small clearing on the other side of the tunnel and then a massive bridge over the water. My friends and I used to ride the train all the way across the bridge, but since it was just me, I would have no way of getting back to my car unless I felt like walking 10 miles. So I decided that I'd hop on the train and take it through the tunnel, hop off, and get a peaceful walk back to my car. I walked along the tracks and waited for a train to pass. It was probably 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Finally, after about 10 minutes of walking, I started to feel the familiar vibration in the rails. I quickly ran to the side and tried my best to stay out of sight. Usually, as far as I know, freight train conductors didn't care enough to report people walking along the tracks, but I didn't want to take any chances. The train passed, and I waited for a good amount of cars to go by before emerging from my hiding spot.
Wait.
I picked a car that looked easily attainable and began jogging alongside the train like I had done 100 times before. Once I was confident enough, I grabbed hold of the ladder and swung myself up. It was pretty easy. The train wasn't traveling very quickly. As my part of the train was about to enter the tunnel, I saw a strange flash of light from up ahead.
What the hell?
I assumed it was a spark from the train or something, but truth be told, I had never seen anything like it before. I hoped there wasn't an errant wire or something dangerous in the tunnel, but it was too late to hop off.
Nigga, what?
The train started picking up speed
I don't
since the
mean to
tunnel.
judge nobody, but what makes just riding on the train so fun? Like, I guess it's the thrill and the adrenaline you get from doing it the illegal way. But really though, sit back and think about it. Like, man, look, man, when we was kids, bro, all we did was jump on the train, man. And you wait. Man, look.
Was perfectly straight, and I closed my eyes as the adrenaline rush started coming on. Just then, I felt a hand reach.
Hold on. Okay, first of all, you closing your eyes is crazy. It's say, knowing what you just saw, you gonna close your eyes.
I closed my eyes as the adrenaline rush started coming on. Just then, I felt a hand reach out from the darkness and literally grab my leg. I lost my footing and nearly slipped,
you're not even on the
but
train,
my hands
for
were
real.
firmly gripping the train. I screamed and kicked, but the train sped by before I could make contact with anything. Before I could even comprehend what just happened, I felt another hand slap against my leg.
Fuck?
I screamed again before scrambling up the ladder, hopefully out of reach. My heart was racing. What the hell just happened? The train exited the tunnel, and I hopped off without thinking. I waited for the train to completely pass and watched it chug over the bridge. I remember pacing back and forth in the little clearing, thinking about what just happened. Like, were there really people in the tunnel, and what could they possibly be doing there? Why the hell would they try to drag me down? All of these thoughts and more were racing through my mind when a stark realization struck me in the face. The only way back to my car was through the tunnel.
This nigga dumb
There
as
was
hell.
absolutely no chance in
God! Oh my God! This nigga dumb as hell. Oh my God! Oh! Oh my God!
I was walking back through that tunnel with those people in there, especially since they'd be able to see my silhouette and I'd be walking through darkness. I sat on the ground for what felt like forever. There was no other option. I couldn't walk across the bridge without risking my life. A train could come along at any second and the bridge was too long. I considered calling someone to come rescue me, but I wasn't even sure if they'd be able to do anything. Police weren't an option. I was breaking the law just being here. I had no choice. I picked up a rock and started making my way through the tunnel.
Nothing.
There were 2 people in there, which I knew for a fact, but there could have been more. I had no idea.
Oh.
I got about halfway to the point where I felt the second set of hands when I heard something. A faint clicking was coming from somewhere in the tunnel. It sounded like a human clicking their tongue, but it could have been made by a machine. It was honestly hard to tell. I froze and thought to myself, Continuing to walk this tunnel was a death sentence. I felt a rush of confidence and pulled out my phone. "You better stay back or I'll shoot,"
You just
I
now
threatened,
decided to use your
my words
phone.
echoing off the
Where your
tunnel
light at?
walls. There was a moment of silence. The clicking stopped as
So
quickly
you
as
done
it had
gave away
begun.
your position and you told these folks you got a gun. So now they know that they got to get up on you if they want to do anything to you. You didn't think twice. And you ain't usually, oh my God, bro.
I was obviously bluffing about having a gun, but I figured it was better to bluff than just walk in silence.
If we had to survive,
pulled up
like
a
if
video-
we on some Get Out or what's that movie? Bird Box. If we on some Bird Box type timing, they said his name was Kevin. Whoever Kevin is, you're not on my team, bro. You're not on my team, bro. You gonna have to go find somebody else because you gonna kill us all. You gonna get us all killed.
On YouTube of a gunshot sound effects, turned up my phone's volume, and played it.
That's a
It was
D1
honestly
pump fake. That's a D1 pump fake. I never heard nobody do that shit before. This nigga. Not only did you lie about having a gun, you playing gunshot sounds in the middle of a dark tunnel, and yet you ain't turned on your flashlight. Oh my God.
Better than I was expecting, and with the echo of the tunnel, I prayed to God that whoever was in there bought it. Without waiting another second, I sprinted full speed into the darkness, bracing myself for a fight. I didn't stop running until I had reached the other side. By some miracle, no one tried to grab me. After making it out of the tunnel, I looked back. There was another flash from deep in the tunnel. This time, though, it subsided long enough for me to clearly see two silhouettes standing on the tracks facing me. That was it for me. I turned to leave, but as I was jogging away, the nastiest screech I've ever heard emanated from the tunnel. It sounded barbaric, definitely human, but far from normal. I don't plan on ever train hopping again.
Boy, one night of fun almost cost you your life, boy. Tripping. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
The New York City subway system is a scary place. I've been an MTA worker for 7 years, and nothing really surprises me anymore. When friends and family ask if I have any stories, though, there is one that stands out among the rest. One that I can't explain. This happened to me about 2 years into the job, but I remember it like it was yesterday. I was pretty acclimated to everything at that point, and things had become routine. I was stationed in Brooklyn at the time, and I was doing some routine maintenance in High Street Station. There wasn't a soul on the platform. It was actually kind of eerie. You're used to these subway stations overflowing with people, so seeing them empty and almost deserted looking was a strange adjustment to make. I hadn't seen a person on the platform in hours, and it was dead silent except for the buzz of the lights and the occasional passing train. Out of nowhere, I heard a clang from somewhere down the track. It startled me so badly that I dropped my mop in shock. The sound wasn't something I was used to hearing.
I thought you was working on the trains, not cleaning them. Maybe I just missed something. But oh my God.
The best way I could describe it to you is that sound that a rock would make if it had been dropped on a metal rail. I stopped what I was doing and looked into the tunnel, listening for other noises. After a while, I concluded that whatever I heard had either been caused by an animal or a falling piece of cement. After all, these stations were pretty old. I went back to work, not thinking too much about the sound. About 10 minutes later, the same sound shook me from my concentration, only this time it was probably about twice as loud. This time, I actually became a little concerned.
These sound effects make the story, like, it makes me more into the story, but nigga, I cannot lie. That shit is creepy as fuck. It's creepy. But it's interesting at the same time.
I say scared. Was it really possible that 2 chunks of the ceiling had fallen in the span of 10 minutes? I put down my supplies and walked over to the tunnel entrance, trying to be quiet. I peered into the darkness and couldn't really see anything. I debated whether or not it was a good idea to call out into the tunnel, and ultimately decided against it. I still figured it was nothing, but after the initial fear had worn off, I was more confused than anything. I kept trying to think of things
overly creepy. You got all this light right here, and this shit just dark as fuck in the middle. I done been to New York, and I done been to the subway station, bro. It did not look like this. But it was a lot of people in there, and being down there with nobody would look strange, bro. It would look very strange.
I could make a sound like that, not once, but twice. It was especially bizarre since the second sound was louder. I tried to keep my mind off the sounds and went back to work, finding a good rhythm again. I was almost done with my work on this platform and was pleased that I'd get to leave this weird station soon. As I was wrapping things up, I heard something that gave me the chills. A child's voice called out for help from inside the tunnel, and he sounded like he was in distress. I instantly stopped what I was doing and made my way over to the edge of the platform. I hesitated for a few seconds before deciding that a child in anguish wasn't something my moral conscience would allow me to ignore. I walked down the steps leading onto the tracks and waited for my eyes to adjust to the darkness. I shouted into the tunnel, asking that kid if he was okay. No response. That's weird, I thought, starting to feel nervous about this encounter. Just then, the kid's voice rang out again, repeating his call for help. I yelled back, asking him if he could hear me. He responded yes, and I asked where specifically he was. There was a brief moment of silence before he just said, "In front of you. Just keep walking." I really didn't want to, but couldn't just leave some helpless kid all alone on those tracks. It was dangerous. I began walking forward when something dawned on me. I yelled into the darkness one more time, this time asking the kid what was wrong. An uncomfortable pause again before the kid responded, "Just keep walking." I didn't like that. This whole thing was off. My eyes finally adjusted to the darkness, and I was able to slightly make out what was in front of me. There actually was what looked like the shadow of a kid just up the tracks, but there was something else that almost made me scream in fear. Another shadow, this one much taller, obviously an adult. My blood ran cold, and I stopped in place. This wasn't happening to me. As slowly as I could, I turned around and made my way back to the platform. Luckily, I wasn't chased on the way back. The kid shouted, "Wait, where are you going?" once I reached the platform, but I wasn't sticking around another second. I made my way up the stairs and called the police as soon as I got cell service. I told them everything, and police were swarming the platform in a matter of minutes. I waited to see what they turned up. After about 20 minutes of searching, they did find something chilling. There was a single kid's shoe just lying in the tunnel, which the police hypothesized could have signified a struggle. After hours more of searching and scouring every available database for missing children, we were told we'd receive a call if anything ever came up. It was concluded that whoever had been down there, though, had hidden somewhere in the tunnels. I have no idea what to think of this experience. This is the best theory I can come up with. Some psycho kidnapped a child and forced him to yell for help in an attempt to lure some unsuspecting Good Samaritan into a trap. Or hell, maybe it's their own kid who they're raising to also be a psycho. I can't think of any other reasonable explanation besides this one, but if I'm right, I can only imagine what that kid must be going through.
What the fuck did I just watch? Oh my god, bro. Bro. The second one was kind of creepy, but it wasn't that creepy. That third one though, when they switched the scenery, I wasn't fucking with that one. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, so look, bro. With that being said, man, y'all let me know if y'all fucking with these. Cause these is actually like scary, like tense scary. Like, I don't know if y'all ever seen those books and it had a bunch of horror stories in them. I don't even know what it's called, like a scary story to tell in the dark or something like that. Those books, bro, this is what a vibe it give me, but it's like with visuals. So it turns it up a notch. But with that being said, man, it's your boy Key checking out. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Let me know if any parts of this video scared you too, or had you thinking. It's your boy Key checking out, and I'm gone, man.